Hello everyone. Let us continue learning C++ programming. In our previous videos, we discussed about inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and many other important OOPS concepts in C++ programming. And in this video, we look into a critical component in C++ programming. Those are strings. Now let us see how the strings are implemented in C++ programming and how it can be used. Let's get started. The C++ programming have two different ways of handling strings, and those are as the very conventional way of using character pointers or character arrays as we did in our C programming structure. And also it has a class which is named as string, which is present under the standard library, which helps us handling strings in C++ programming. Let us quickly have a short look into how the strings are being stored and used in C++ programming, for which I'm creating a file with the name of program7.cpp. And I'm starting with the basic header file includes of IO stream and using my namespace, which is the standard namespace std, which we use here. And followed by, I'm directly jumping into my main function, under which I'm creating a character array first, which is char str of array size, which is not specified. Rather, I'm passing the direct string to it with the word hello space world. And the second object I'm creating is a string object directly of name str2, which takes the word of welcome to programming. And when I print it, cout str new line character str2 and end with the semicolon, I'm completing with the return 0 statement. And let us compile the code with the G++ compiler, program7.cpp -o pro7 is the object file name I'm providing here. And when I compile it, as you can very well see, there are no error message on the screen. And when I run the file with the name of pro7, you can very well see both the messages are getting printed to the output screen. And when it comes to handling the strings, both the character array as well as the string class in C++ programming works in a more or less similar fashion, but there could be some minor differences between string classes and the character array, and let us see what are those. A character array is simply an array of characters that are terminated by null character, whereas a string is a class in C++ programming which defines an object that can be represented as a stream of characters. The size of the character array should be allocated statically. More memory cannot be allocated during the runtime if it is required. Unused allocated memory is wasted in case of character array, whereas in terms of strings, the memory is allocated dynamically and more memory can be allocated during the runtime on demand. As no memory is pre-allocated, no memory is being wasted. And in terms of character array, there is a minor threat of array decay, which is possible. Whereas in terms of strings, since they are represented as objects of a class, array decay is not a possible scenario. Even though implementation of character array is faster than string class objects, string provides a much stabler and efficient way of handling strings in C++ programming. And the character array does not provide much of the inbuilt functionalities to manipulate string functions, whereas string class definition comes with a certain set of built-in member functions, helps us to manipulate strings in a much faster and easier manner. Now to have a look at some of the operations that are available under string classes. As a quick little detail of comparison between character arrays and strings, as we all can see, the size of the character array, that is str, is only 12, as we have got 11 characters here in place, followed by a null character. So this becomes a constant character array of size 12. If there is a scenario where I'm going to copy, that is string cpy of str, comma, I'm providing a lengthier string. For example, welcome to C++ programming. So where the length of this constant string is basically higher than the present character array size, for which I should include my string header files, post which I'll try printing it, cout str, and let's wait for the response here. Let's compile it. As you could very well see, it comes with an overflow warning, which clearly says that writing 27 bytes into a region of size 12 is not possible, because when we declare the str array in our fifth line, we haven't provided a size. Rather, we assigned a value directly to the character array, by which it took a default size of 12, reason because of the size of the string we have provided here. And later stage, when we try copying a much lengthier string to the same character array, that doesn't support the functionality, reason because of the length which we have in extra. But when it comes to strings, the string class in C++ programming, assume I store a word of length only 7 in it. So the length of this, the size of this string 2 is only 8 in the beginning. And when I try storing a bigger value, that is str2, with a string with extra characters in it, and when I print it, and when I compile and run it, let's compile it one more time. And when we compile and run it, you can very well see it runs at ease. It creates no hassle. Rather, it prints whatever the message we wanted it. For the sake of understanding, let's try to find out the size of it before and after the redeclaration or reassigning of values. str2 dot, let us print its capacity and end with the new line character. And again, let's print the capacity of it. And again, let's end with the new line character. Let's clear the whole screen, compile it one more time, and let's run the file. As you could very well see, the memory got reallocated dynamically at the background. Earlier, when I stored the string of length 7 characters in it, there are only 7 characters, and to store the null character, it would have taken one more character. So the size would have become 8 by constant. So the default size provided for it is 15. And when I stored a character array of much more longer length, which is of size 27, it changed the capacity, dynamically changed the memory size of it, and that is being shifted to a capacity size of 30, as you could very well see here. The size, capacity size of 15 has moved to 30. So that is one crucial advantage of using string classes in C++ programming. And also, yet another feature which we need to talk about is nothing but assigning values to string objects. And this way of assigning strings to the character array directly is not possible, which can be done only during the time of declaration and initialization. And since we should make use of functions like string copy or some other functions in order to store values into a character array, this way of direct assignment is possible with the help of string classes and objects. There are even more functions which we should learn in terms of string classes and C++ programming. And let us see what are those. First, let's start with my basic declaration of a string object. So a string will be my class name and str will be my object name. To read input for this particular string, I can make use of the conventional cin statement. And I'll cout it as the string s followed by the string str itself. So let me clear the screen, compile it, run it. So I'm entering a string called Om Prakash, my name is, and it says the string is Om Prakash. And since I have not provided any space in this place, it is printed as the string is, and without any space, it prints the variable value which we have provided here. And cin is one way of reading values for the string object. There is yet another way which is called as getLine function, getLine. And this helps you read values for the string, which basically reads from the cin statement and stores it in the string object. So let's do the same old action again. I'll have a short little space between is and the value which I print on the screen. I'll clear the screen. Let's compile it. No errors, and run it one more time. And the cursor is waiting for my input for some data. And I'm entering my name once again. And this works the same way as it worked in a previous case, where I used cin statements to read the input. And here, this time I'm using the getLine function to read inputs. And this is one way of reading string inputs to the string class objects. Now let's quickly have a look at the other functions in string classes. The next set of two functions are pushback and popback, that is to the string of str. If you wanted to add a few more characters at the end, I can provide dot, and I'll push one more character to the end, G. And when I print the string to it, let's compile it. Semicolons are missing. Let's save the file, clear the screen. Let's compile it one more time. And as you can see, there are no errors as of now. Let us run the code, row 7. And it is waiting for the input. So I'll provide my name once again. And after my name, it has appended 2 extra characters of dot and G, which I did it with the help of pushback function, where in the first case, I'm pushing dot at the end of the string. So the string I entered is Om Prakash without any space separation, after which a dot has been added. So Om Prakash dot, and followed by a character called G. So it has become Om Prakash dot G. That has been constructed as a complete new string in it. And pushback is a functionality which helps you to append new characters at the end of the string, which does basically the append function. And remember, pushing back a whole complete string at the end is not possible. That is, you can only append characters at the end. You cannot push back a new string, that is dot G in this place, as a replacement for these 2 lines. This way is not possible, remember. So I would like to show you a quick little error message which arises. See, pushing back the whole string is not possible because the argument type of pushback function is basically a constant character. We are providing a character pointer here. So that is not possible. We can only push back individual characters, not a group of characters in the form of character array. So this is an error scenario, remember. Let us quickly have a look at the next function. String dot pop back. So I'll call it twice and let us see what happens. Let's end with the proper semicolons. Let's clear the screen, compile it, and run it one more time. So here I'll provide my name as the input again and end with a dot G, my complete name. And when I run it, you could see the last 2 characters are not being printed. It only prints my name. It doesn't print the G or the dot in it. Reason because of the 2 pop functions. So when I pop back first, the G is being removed. When I pop back it one more time, the dot is also removed. So it only prints the remaining rest of the string which is stored in the str object. So popback and pushback are the 2 functions where pushback is used to append the character which is given as an argument for the pushback function, and popback takes no argument, rather it pops out the last character in the string. And the other string library functions are, we talked about capacity, which we have seen it already. So capacity is yet another function in string class library. And we also have something called as cout str dot length as a function. Let's enter with the new line character. Clear the screen, compile it, run it again. Welcome to C++ programming. It quickly prints the length of the string in it, which is 26. So length is a built-in string class function which is used to print the length of the string. And let us have a look at the capacity. Compile it, run it again. The same string, welcome to C++ programming. So here we know the length is 26 and it has some additional extra characters of 30, which is to append extra characters if needed. Yes. And the next is the important function which I need to show you, which is called as the resize function. Let's see what the resize function could do. First, let me print the capacity in a new line. Next, I would like to resize it, the size of 40. And I'll print the capacity for one more time. So let's compile the code and run it up once again to see the output. So I'll give the input of welcome to C++ programming, where the length we already know is 26. So the initial capacity is 60. And when I resized it, it has moved on to 40 more characters and the size has become 60 in place. And what happens when I provide a lesser size? I'll resize to a size of 20. Let's clear the screen, compile, run it. I'll provide a lengthier string which is of length more than 20. As you could see, when I resize it, the capacity remains the same size of 30. But what happens is here's nothing but when I resize it, the string of length only 20 is being retained. The length of this character, that is welcome to C++ programming, the length is only 20. The remaining things are truncated or left blank, and the string length has been reduced literally. So you can again make use of some functions as resize to truncate strings. So resize basically reduces the string length, but the capacity won't be altered. That is information we can take out from this way of execution, as you could see on the screen as of now. The last crucial function we have to know about strings are nothing but string to fit functionality. Let us see how it is done. So let us not resize it. Let us print the capacity first, and let me string to fit it. SHRI string to fit function. So let's clear the screen. Let's compile it and run it one more time to see the output. And we have to provide the string here. So welcome to C++ programming. And the length of this string is 26. So when I print the capacity, we know it prints 30 in the first line. And in the next line, the size has brought down to 26. Now, what the string to fit function has done here is nothing but it has reduced the unused, it has cleared the unused memory blocks for this particular string so that the memory is being managed much effective manner when compared to character arrays. So in a dynamic memory management method. Hope the functionality about string classes in C++ programming is much clear to you. A short recap of the functions which we had under our string class library. The first function we had in place is called the getLine function, which is to read input from a stream. And the second function which we looked at today is the length function. The purpose of the length function is to print the length of the string. And we also had a quick little function which is named as capacity, which is used to print the capacity, the current capacity of the string object. And we also had a function called as resize, which allows us to resize the whole string object. And that resize function can be used in multiple ways, either to truncate the string or to expand more capacity to the same string. And finally, we had a crucial function which is called a string to fit, which helps in dynamic memory management. If there are any unused memory blocks, in our example, we gave an input of a string whose length is only 26, for which the size allocated as a capacity is 30 bytes. And when it's string to fit, only 26 memory is being retained. The remaining four bytes of memory is cleared dynamically. And that's it all about string libraries or string classes in C++ programming. All the concepts are clearly understood. See you in the next part of the video. Thank you.